will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Welcome back, everybody, to Game on NTX. Today's show is brought to you by Ensemble Co-working, Fort Worth's hub for private offices, co-working, meeting space, and virtual mail. Find your perfect workspace at ensemblecoworking.com. Well, happy Wednesday, Bill. How you doing this?
Happy Wednesday to you as well, sir.
The temperatures are dropping. We feel
Love
like
it.
we're officially into football season.
Let's
I love
go.
it. Let's talk real quickly about the Rangers tonight. We'll talk some college football. We'll talk about probably the most poorly officiated game I've seen in all of college football. We'll make some picks for college, and then we'll talk about our Cowboys and some picks later in the show. What do you say?
Let's do it, John.
All right. Well, I got a quick hitter.
Hey, hold on a second. I got a question for you.
Sure.
Who's sponsoring us?
You didn't hear my
Oh, did you read it already?
Yeah.
I guess. Oh man, I can't even. I guess my headphones and stuff weren't working, and you already killed it.
I killed it, man.
My mistake, brother. I am sorry.
It's all right. So, yep. Again, this was brought to us by Ensemble Co-working. Love you guys. Thank you. So, got news today that Mr. Rudy Johnson, former Cincinnati Bengals running back, he's actually fourth on their all-time rusher stats. He passed away. They didn't say why. He was a guy that I remember from my early teenage years. He's a pretty good running back. You know, you think about Corey Dillon and those guys. He was one of those guys that he ran hard. He wasn't a Hall of Famer by any means, but he was a good, solid running back for a few years.
Gotcha.
So rest in peace to him. So we got two big stories to talk about that involve college football, right? I'm going to talk the first one. Mike Gundy was fired from Oklahoma State yesterday.
He is Oklahoma State football. He's been there. I heard this. He's been there as a player, assistant coach, or coach. He's been there for the better part of 40 years, John.
Yeah,
So
that's
longer
true.
than you've been alive.
Correct. He was the head coach for 21 years. And he actually played quarterback there from 1986 to 1989.
He was Barry Sanders' quarterback when Barry Sanders was Hall of Fame running back. Barry Sanders was there. Mike Gundy was his quarterback. So
and those of you who aren't big college football fans, he was always a thorn in the side for Texas.
Always.
They always played Texas tough.
Always.
Every now and then there'd be a blowout. I remember the game where Vince Young went nuts. We were down, I think it was 35-7 in that game one point, and Texas came back and won. I think that was the year we won the national title, if not the year before.
I believe it was. That's when, I believe it was. That was, Mike's been there a long time. He's like I said, he is Oklahoma State football, and
the mullet. I'm a man.
I think he is I think he is more well known to non-sports fans as I'm a man, I'm 40, which I remember, honestly, John, I remember seeing that when I was, it's just, it's been a long time now, but I remember seeing that and I'm thinking that guy is defending that kid. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of guy that I would want my kids to play for. If my kids were going to college to play football,
correct,
I would want my kids to play for a guy like that because he's going to have their back.
Sure. And he produced some pretty good wide receivers, Des Bryant. Des Bryant was there. Tons of coordinators all over the league. Zach Robinson. The amount of reach he had throughout college football. Now, I will say the reason I think that he's gone is NIL. He's an NIL casualty. It's not that Oklahoma State couldn't compete. If T. Boone Pickens was here, it wouldn't have been a question. He'd have just funneled money into the program. They still recruit and they still find diamonds in the rough.
He's just not with it. He's just not with it as far as he's an old school guy. He doesn't really love it.
Nope.
That's
he's the type of guy that he's not going to coach anywhere else. He's done. He's retired. I don't see him coming back ever. That's just my opinion.
I have kind of heard a short list of different people talking, a short list of people that they might be interested in. Obviously, you mentioned Zach Robinson, who I don't know if he would come back. He's the OC for the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm pretty sure he wants to be an NFL head coach. Yeah. So why would he go back to college? But that's somebody that I guarantee you they'll try and talk to because of his ties to the program. You've got G.J. Kinney down at Texas State. He's done really good things with that program. And right up the road from us here at UNT, Mr. Morris, I think they might. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to talk to him because he's got them 4-0 now, and they
got a big overtime win over Army last weekend.
Yeah, they're handling their business. They keep screwing around. They're going to be ranked if they're not paying attention.
You know who I think would be the hire. And I think he fits. And I think we may have talked about – I know we've talked personally about it.
Jeff Traylor.
Oh,
I think
he is a fit. Yeah. I think he's a fit.
Oh,
It's a big-time program. He recruits He recruits Texas well.
Well, I mean, former state champion football coach here. He was, you and I both well know he was an assistant at UT for a little while.
Yep.
And he's been down at UTSA for a while, and he's built that program into a really solid program. I think he would be. You're right. I think he would be an excellent hire.
And he will be one of those guys that can compete with Texas Tech.
Oh yeah.
Just coaching wise, I mean, Texas Tech is throwing money at that roster, and it seems to be paying off.
For the record, man, you gotta pay attention to what they're doing because they handled a pretty good Utah team and just handled
with a backup
quarterback. Joey McGuire, once again, there's another former Texas high school football coach from Joey McGuire from Cedar Hill.
Yep.
He's gone out there and he's done a really good job at that program. They're funneling money into it.
Yep.
And they're hitting the transfer portal hard, and it's working, man. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And I think right now they have to be the favorite for the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, I would agree. Them or TCU would be my guess.
TCU looks good, man. They handled SMU. I didn't pick them to win that game, but they handled SMU very well. And Sonny Dykes he's got a good program going down there.
He does. I mean, he's going to be one of those guys because of NIL being what it is. He's going to have down year, big year. Down year, big year. That's the way some of these lower level schools are going to have to compete. But going back to Coach Gundy, his record while he was there, he was 170-90 as a head coach at Oklahoma State. He won one Big 12 title. That was in 2011, I believe it was. But part of the reason he was let go, man, this season they're averaging 14 points a game, 172 passing yards a game, which is not an Oklahoma State offense.
No.
The big indicator was they lost to Tulsa last weekend, and we knew his days were numbered.
Man, he's not the only old school coach guy that's had a lot of success at one program that could be gone, man. Dabo Swinney at Clemson had that big rant, and then they go out and get beat by Syracuse, get beaten by an unranked Syracuse.
It wasn't
team.
even close, actually.
No.
Like Syracuse beat the piss out of them.
No, and this was a team, John. They started out number 4 in the rankings, and a lot of people were, they were saying you were one of them. Yeah, you were one of them saying that this team because their defense they have a lot of NFL talent in their defense too.
Yep.
You and a lot of other people were saying that they believe that they were, they had a decent chance to win the frickin' Big Power State too because of their conference, that they had a good chance to get to the championship game and win it.
Yeah.
Cade Klubnik was looked at as a Heisman, one of the Heisman favorites. They have not produced. And after Dabo's rant last week, I mean, he could be, they lose another game, man. He could be gone.
He's on thin ice for sure.
And this is a man that he built that program into a powerhouse.
Oh yeah, he brought them from the ashes, man. And,
I mean,
they were good in the 80s, I think it was.
They were good it was the early 80s. They were good in
the
early
80s, which is before my time. I'm a late 90s kid.
Yeah.
But I think I saw. I forget who it was. What didn't a Clemson player get punched by? Was it Howard Schnellenberger?
Probably, yeah. Back
when Clemson was good,
was at Miami, and he's the first one that built Miami into a powerhouse, and Jimmy Johnson just took over from there. And
that's correct.
You never look back.
That's correct. So. I mean, these old school guys, they're few and far between. I think Saban kind of retired. He knew when it was time to just give it up.
He was. Yeah.
Not that they weren't still elite, because they absolutely were. They were churning out multiple first-round picks every season. I think he just got tired of, what recruiting is and what it has become, because it's a lot more laid back now. It's a lot more money. It's year-round now.
Yeah.
And I think he and Miss Terry said, you know what, I'm just going to go kick it with the boys, on college game day, and he's phenomenal, so anyways, it's weird to see. It's going to be weird to see someone else at the helm for up in Stillwater.
Very much so. Very weird. Strange. I will agree with you on
that. Next piece of big news also comes out of the state of Oklahoma. Mr. John Mateer.
Heisman Trophy favorite as a
Heisman Trophy favorite.
The last thing I saw, the Heisman Trophy favorite.
That's
John
correct.
Mateer.
He has a broken thumb in his throwing hand. Apparently, it happened early in that game, which could signal some of the struggles he had earlier in the game. So at halftime, they went in. Maybe they gave him a little shot in the hand, and he didn't feel it as much. And he played pretty damn good the second half.
I will say kudos to that kid for toughing it out. He's a talented kid, man. And
apparently, he had a sprained knee as well.
The fact that you broke your thumb there, and they just basically probably just shot you up.
Yep.
Because you weren't going to hurt it any worse, most likely. And then you said he had the knee.
Yeah, I think he had a sprained knee.
So he's playing through it. He's a tough kid, and that's.
I mean, I'm going to take every opportunity I can to discredit an Oklahoma or an Aggie team. Right?
I know this.
I can't help it, but the kid is tough. He's talented. I've always said, and I've maintained this with him, I'm not doubting his talent. I'm doubting the durability when you start playing these teams that have fantastic athletes. Like Auburn's not a fantastic team. They were ranked. Yeah. They're a decent team, right? they still have Jackson Arnold as quarterback, right?
That's
Let's start there.
That's true.
Who apparently struggled to throw the ball downfield because he held on to the ball at an astronomical rate. I counted on more than one occasion. I would say 5 or 6 of the 10 sacks that
You got to get rid of the football.
Were because he did not get rid of the football.
Yeah,
and when you've got a talented pass rush like Oklahoma has,
definitely.
You've got it. And credit to Auburn, they gave Jackson Arnold time to throw the ball. I think Jackson Arnold just didn't want to turn the ball over, obviously, because that's what he's known for, going back home to the land of Sooner, where he was public enemy number one. For whatever, like, let me also say, the fact that they vilified this kid after they ran his ass out with a pitchfork after saying he was the second coming is the reason why people hate Oklahoma.
Well,
right?
It
is. I hate when people crap all over kids who gave everything they had to that program. He was set up for failure because of his coordinators. So that's a story we can talk about later. But
let me mention one other thing about that Oklahoma program.
Yeah,
and we're talking about names that possible to look at possibly for that Oklahoma State job.
Yeah,
Ben Arbuckle, I did see that, the OU offensive coordinator that came with John Mateer. He brought John Mateer to Oklahoma with him from Washington State,
which would spell chaos for Oklahoma, because then
he's a Texas guy. I didn't realize this.
He's
Ben Arbuckle
Seminole
from the state of Texas. So
Seminole, I think is where
I believe so.
At.
I believe so.
So just to kind of break this thing down, if for some reason, because I know it's the thing to hire the young hot candidate, right? That's what G.J. Kinney was a few years ago when Texas State hired him. He worked out perfect. For Texas. It reminds me of the Sterling. Was it Sterling Gilbert? Is that who it was? The offensive coordinator that we hired for Charlie Strong his last year.
Sterling something. I don't know if it was Gilbert. Maybe. What
I'm talking about.
I kind of erased the Tom Herman and Charlie Strong coaching deals from my memory banks.
Yeah, I mean that's probably smart, but. That Ben Arbuckle hire kind of reminded me of that. They hired the young hot coordinator. Now, it's worked out better than I thought. Now, I've maintained this, and you can attest to this. I think the offense is gimmicky. I really do. If you don't, we're going to see just how good that offense is with a kid that hasn't been in it his entire collegiate career. Right? So we're going to see that with Michael Hawkins, who is an athletic kid.
Yeah,
his dad's a former Sooner.
You saw that Texas handled him pretty badly,
and so did Navy.
Well, the fact is, OU, much like Texas, OU is going to be in every game because of their defense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because of their defensive line,
I agree.
Their secondary is not very good.
But the fact is that when you don't have to cover that long, it makes it a lot easier. And their pass rush, they get home.
Man, so here's my theory, right? So in that game last weekend against Oklahoma, if Jackson Arnold would have just thrown it up to Cam or get it out to Singleton was a kid that I wanted in the portal at Texas.
That's the kid. Yeah, that's the kid that came from Georgia Tech. Yeah,
he's fantastic in the slot.
I'm a big fan.
He can anywhere. He can do anything on the field. Right? He's got great hands. He's got great wiggle. He is the perfect slot receiver in any offense. Now he moves all over the place for them. So does Cam. But part of their issue was he refused to throw it downfield.
Yeah.
And they ran a little bit. At one point, they were negative 22 yards rushing in that game. And it was late in the game too. And they got a little bit going in the second half, and horrible officiating. Those guys, those officials should be suspended at best. Yeah. And the first big issue that I saw in the game was the fumble that they called incomplete.
Yeah.
It's a bang play. They called it a fumble on the field. When you watch a replay review, there's not really enough there to turn it over.
Yeah.
So that's 7 points off the board because I was returned for 6.
Uh-huh.
And then you got the bull crap, fake or not fake, but where they had the kid walking off the sideline, and
yeah.
then they came out and said, "Oh no, we checked with the referee." That's horseshit, man.
Yeah, I agree.
That was chicken crap. So you're talking about a 14-point swing,
yeah,
in a game in a hostile environment for Auburn for a kid in Jackson Arnold who wants nothing more than to win that game.
Oh no, absolutely.
You talk about pass interferences that were missed. I saw a lot of holds on the outside, a lot of holds. And the problem was Oklahoma still couldn't run the ball, and they were getting away with holding on the outside. So, they played an SEC caliber defense, right? It's not one that's super great, but they had players on that defense.
Oh, yeah.
And the first half was really close. It was a fun game to watch, right?
I'll say this. I like Texas's chance a hell of a lot more if John Mateer's not in that game.
I like it with John Mateer.
Well,
and
that may be right. You may be right there, but Texas their line has to play better, man. And Arch Manning he's going to have to play better. He's going to have to be more accurate with the football.
I agree.
He played well this weekend, but that's also just a really bad team.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, Arch has to be better. The offensive line has to be better. They have to be cleaner. I told you last weekend and last week, I've maintained it. Arch Manning had the yips. It seems like he corrected that. Now, again, check the team that you're playing.
Oh,
it's one of the worst teams in Division I football, Sam Houston State. They couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Basically the entire second half, there were freshmen on the field, that's the type of game you want freshmen to play in that game. We saw the backup quarterback midway through the third quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, that game was over with at halftime.
Yeah,
which is what we're supposed to do against Sam. That's what we should have done the previous 2 weeks as well.
The previous 2 games. We'll find out. We'll find out in a couple of weeks. We're off this weekend, obviously.
We will.
We'll find out in a couple of weeks against Florida, because whether we like Florida or not, we want to make fun of Florida because their quarterback play has been pretty atrocious.
Yeah.
But
it's bad.
We'll find out because they do have some high caliber players on that defense.
They do, and the strength of that team is their defense, which is hard to say when you've got a guy who's known as an offensive guru, and Billy Napier, who has not been an offensive guru since he's been there, which is hard to believe. But I will say that the game that was probably my favorite game to watch all last weekend was the Oklahoma and Auburn game. I watched it.
It went down to the wire. It was a tight game.
It was a tight game. All things considered, I guess you can say Oklahoma deserves it. I don't give Oklahoma credit for shit, but they won the game. Kudos to you. I mean, the refs. I mean, the SEC even released a statement saying that play was against the rules.
Yeah.
And then later on, I heard a podcast. I forget who it was. Maybe it was some Auburn guys, but they were talking about how I want to say it was Bob Stoops went on and was talking, and they said something about, they released that we checked with the referee before we did that, and we didn't practice that at all. And then earlier this week, someone had released that, apparently they were practicing this at practice. So, like, someone alluded to, I think it was Bob Stoops that said, they kind of perfected it there. They were, whatever, it's all hearsay at this point. They're not going to reverse the result. Auburn lost, Oklahoma won.
Yep.
John Mateer's hurt. I come from the opinion, I don't give a shit who's playing quarterback for Oklahoma. I want there to be zero excuses during the Red River rivalry. I don't care if it's John Mateer. I don't care if it's Hawkins, because you know what? We don't get the benefit of the doubt when we have backups in there. They're not going to get the benefit of the doubt either. And I had a buddy of mine that's an Oklahoma fan text me and said, I can't believe you guys are going to get let off the hook again. Well, let off the hook again. Show me how elite your defense is. That's all I got to say.
You know what I care about, John? You know what I care about?
What's that?
I just care about the W. I don't care whether they have excuses or not. I want the W. And excuses or not, let's just handle it. And whoever plays quarterback, whether it's Mateer, whether it's Hawkins, it doesn't matter. Let's just handle it and win the game. But I want to see what they do against Florida coming up.
Yeah, and to touch on Texas, right? Won the game 55-0. Arch was 18 for 21 for 309 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. 2 of those were to Ryan Wingo, which we needed that connection to flame up.
Definitely.
Ryan Wingo had a total of 125 yards.
He's too talented. He's too talented to not be putting up numbers.
Correct. And then Arch had 2 rushing touchdowns as well.
Yep.
He was made famous because he ran over that Fish kid, the linebacker. A lot of people don't realize that earlier in that game, Fish popped him pretty good on a scramble and said something to him.
Was that the one that he was taunting at the end?
When he ran him over in the end zone and then he taunted people are like,
I heard he come out. He has come out and said that his mother, that Mama Manning was not happy with him.
But
I get
it's a competitor's game.
Just emotion of the game, man.
Yeah,
I get it.
So we did what we were supposed to do. I agree with you. Let's see what he looks like against Florida, and we'll go from there after the bye. Let's talk about some games this week, and then we'll touch on the Rangers before the break. Okay, so college football week 5, LSU Ole Miss, going to be a good game. Oof. I think. You and I talked about this earlier today.
Yeah,
I got Ole Miss.
Honestly, I'm hearing a lot of other people say the same thing. They think Ole Miss is gonna win that game because you don't really believe in LSU. You don't think they're as good as they say they are, or as good as their record says they are.
Well, answer this: what was their best win this season?
Yeah, you got me.
And it was a struggle.
You got me.
It was Clemson.
Yeah,
that's their best
game of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, again, it could be Clemson's just down on their luck. Whatever. Next game, Bama versus Georgia. Yeah. I got Bama. I'm shooting from the hip. I got Bama
at Georgia too, and you're picking them on the road.
I am.
Ugh. I do think that Ty Simpson has gotten a little more comfortable. He looked rough there for a little while.
Yeah.
I do think that he's gotten a little more comfortable. And Georgia really, one of the has been their trademarks is they get after the quarterback, and they really have not been this year, man. They have been. Their pass rush has been a little bit lacking.
They have not.
It wouldn't surprise me at all to see Bama win that game, but yeah, and Georgia's, my opinion, they're going to have to run the football.
They're going
to have to run the football,
no doubt. Running out of time here before the break. So Penn State, Oregon. I don't believe in Penn State. He has not shown that he can win. I remember him winning one big game, and that was against Ohio State when Saquon Barkley played at Penn State, if that's how long ago that was. Well, they can win some big games, but I don't see them beating Oregon. I think it's a 10-point victory for Oregon at least.
Oh, yeah. I'm hoping for less than 10 points. I honestly don't really care who wins. I do kind of have a little bet with my buddy that I work with, Dustin, who's big. He's from Oregon. He's a big Ducks fan, and he said that he thinks it'll be by at least 9 points. Yeah. And I said, well, if it's less than 9 or less, then I win. So I'm hoping for a close game. I think it's that environment. That's a game that I want to watch. That's that environment in Happy Valley, a whiteout game at night. And a little plug for my company that I work for. It's going to be West Shore home. They're playing on West Shore home field at Beaver Stadium. And, man, our company bought the naming rights earlier this year. The guy that owns our company is an alum. Yeah. So I got maybe a little bit of a stake in it. I kind of want to see how that goes. Yeah. That's a game that I love. I don't love either school, but I love history and the history of sports. And that's a bucket list thing that I want to do. I want to go to a whiteout game one of these nights. I want to go to a night game at LSU.
Sure. Yeah, same. Well, the next 3 games are Auburn Aggie, TCU ASU, and then Notre Dame Archie. I put Notre Dame Arkansas because Sam Pittman's in hot water since the loss to Memphis. But when we get back, we'll talk about the Rangers and the Dallas Cowboys.
Sounds good.
Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book, because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
All right, welcome back. Just a reminder, today's show is brought to you by Ensemble Co-working, Fort Worth's hub for private offices, co-working, meeting space, and virtual mail. Find your perfect workspace at ensemblecoworking.com. All right, well, let's talk briefly about the Rangers. They have shit the bed. That's the best way I can put it.
No, you're not wrong. That's in no uncertain terms. That's exactly what has happened. They have just been in free fall mode after just being getting 9 games up, which was a high water mark for the season. They have just completely fallen apart. They've lost their last 8 games. They've shut some guys down now with Seager and Simeon, and I heard on the way over here that they've shut Wyatt Langford down now. He's got an oblique issue, and they're gonna just chuck it, you know. Oh, one other note, non-related, John. I can't believe this has happened. Cleveland has passed Detroit. You want to talk about an all-time collapse? Wow. Detroit had complete control of that division, and Cleveland beat them last night. Cleveland is in first place in that division now, man.
Wow, that's insane.
That's unreal.
I just saw also while we were on break that Aaron Judge hit his 50th home run for the 4th time. There's only been 3 other players to do that, and one of them is Babe Ruth. So
you still on the Cal rally for MVP bandwagon?
Hell yeah.
I don't know if everybody's going to agree with you. I would personally, because I played the position. I played catcher. I know how hard that is. It will take a toll on your body, and I didn't do it for nearly as many games as that guy has done it, and still producing at an incredibly high level. Broke the team home run record held by some guy named Ken Griffey Jr. Maybe you've heard of him. Pretty good.
Yeah, the kid.
Yeah, pretty good.
I've heard of him. He's pretty good. He's okay. You know.
Yeah.
He could hit a baseball over the mountains over there, but
that's our boy Chuck's favorite player.
Yeah,
always was.
Same. He's my all-time favorite player. Just dude was amazing.
Beautiful.
Well, let's jump into some Dallas Cowboys because we have got quite a bit to talk about.
Well, I'm going to start with that. That atrocious showing last week that they couldn't they couldn't stop anything. It's like the Bears did whatever they wanted, at least throwing the football. They didn't have to run it because they hit so many big plays. Dallas DBs were falling for all the eye candy. CD Lamb got hurt early in that game, and I get that. That's your best offensive player. For one, I gotta say, I hated the play call. Why are you lining him up in the backfield where there's a chance that a linebacker like that is gonna run up on him, is gonna roll up on him?
This is the first time. This is the first time in his career, not in CD Lamb's career, but in Shoddy's coaching career, where I got mad at him. I'm like, what are you doing?
You're asking for trouble.
Yeah.
In plays like that. And that, to me, that's a gimmick play. If you're going to run a gimmick play like that, you don't need to run that early in the game, man. If you run it at all, I don't really like running.
You definitely don't do it with your franchise wide receiver.
No, put maybe Turpin back there. Turpin's
correct,
faster, something like that.
Yeah.
I get it. CD's great with the ball in his hands, but it wasn't a good play call. But it didn't really matter because Caleb Williams, John, as crazy as this sounds, he's like 20 some odd games in. This is the first time in his career that he was not sacked at least one time.
Wow.
And that is because the Dallas pass rush is, to put it nicely, inept. They're just like they're trying to feel around in the dark and find somebody because they are getting zero pressure. Yeah. Sam Williams, Marshawn Nealon, Devin Ezeraku, I think it's Devin, isn't it? Yeah, Ezeraku, the rookie. That could be excused a little bit. And I get it. You're missing a lot of pieces on defense, man, but you got to get something. And I know they're bringing in Jadeveon Clowney. He's going to play this week. And Jadeveon's an okay pass rusher. He's really good against the run, but they've been stopping the run. The Bears couldn't hardly run the ball.
Yeah.
But like I said, they didn't have to because of the pass. You let Caleb Williams go 19 for 28, 4 touchdowns, no picks. You don't sack him. Some of the plays that they got fooled on.
You know, the sad part about this, Bill, is the big media, local sports media, Chicago sports media, us. I mean, we thought maybe in the first half it's close, and then, Chicago stubs their toe and Dallas runs away with it. Worst case scenario, nobody predicted this for Dallas to get their doors blown off by an inept Chicago. Now they're well coached.
We've discussed this. We're both Ben Johnson fans.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how, I mean, I get the defense was that bad, and I've got a theory on that after you're done that I'll bring up. But, with how bad the defense was, I did not expect the offense to sputter like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they were moving the ball well. Yeah. And the early turnover, the fumble, or a strip fumble.
Yeah, that was a really nice play by Stevenson. I got to give him some credit for that.
And I was, I'm not mad at Javonte Williams, even though he fumbled it. Javonte Williams has kind of relit a flame in his career. He looks really good.
He had a great game. I mean, he was running the ball, but
he was running hard too.
They were not in a position where they could continue to run the ball. No. And so they had to start throwing it. I'm not going to put both interceptions on Dak. One of them, yes, but the other one goes off Pickens' hands and right to the DB. I'm not going to put that on him.
Yeah,
and he like I said, he wasn't terrible. I mean, he was pretty accurate. He threw for 250 and a touchdown and 2 picks. Like I said, the one I'm not going to blame him for.
Guys, I'm a world-class Dak hater, and I have zero complaints about the way Dak has played this season.
No, he's played. It's not his fault.
No,
but yet Pickens had a solid game, but they fed Jake Ferguson, pass after pass after pass, and
I don't get it.
But I mean, he used to look a lot more athletic. Now he looks like end of his career Jason Witten, where it's just catch the ball, fall down. It's not. I'm not seeing anything from him. But the fact is, it's a different game because you were running the football. If your defense is keeping you in the game, that changes the way you call plays. That changes the fact that you're running, and what you do best is What you were doing best was running the football. If you keep that game, if your defense can keep the game remotely close, then you can continue to do what you're doing best. But when you give up four plays over 30 yards, including the 65-yarder to Burden, where he was standing down there by himself,
butt naked.
Yeah, Adunze was on his touchdown was basically wide ass open. Just
inexcusable.
I mean, I know Diggs is. I don't know if he's not all the way back from the injury or what it is, but he looks like he's running in quicksand. You've got Kyer Elam, which he's kind of looking. I kind of see why Buffalo cut him loose. He was a former first-round pick. I kind of see why they cut him loose. He falls for the fakes and stuff way too often, and they insist on. And I love. Don't get me wrong. I love Donovan Wilson, but they insist on playing him at the deep safety. And as you and I both know, he is not a deep safety. He is a box safety.
100%.
His forte is playing up closer to that line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And now you get Deron Bland back. It's going to help. It will help if we get Siobhan Revel. I don't know how you say his name. The rookie kid probably would have been a first-round pick had it not been for the injury.
Yeah.
And he's pretty close to coming back. You're adding Clowney to this. Maybe he can help some. I don't know what you think. A lot of people have suggested maybe they've got the two extra first-round picks for Micah. Maybe they go trade for a pass rusher. I'm not of that nature right now. I think their payroll is bloated at the top.
Yeah.
And the money for CD's fine.
Yeah.
We both know Dak is way, way overpaid, and it's no disrespect because he's playing solid, but he's not worth $60 million. Nobody in this league is making $60 million. If anybody should be, it's not him.
Yeah.
But you can't get mad at the man for what they're paying him because they said they'd pay him that.
Yeah,
but the fact is, I'm of the mindset, I would love to see him go get another player like that, maybe help a little bit, but you're not really a contender even with another pass rusher. I say you tear it down, sell all the assets that you can get anything for off. Let's go, and I'm going to get roasted for this by a lot of people. You got to go into tank mode, man, because they're not winning anything this year.
No.
And so I know the Joneses won't do it. That's not how they work because they want to keep selling hope. Jerry seems to think this is still a playoff team. I don't know how.
Christmas.
I think tops, man. I think tops they win 7 games. If that, I could see more like 5. If the defense improves, 7 games. If it doesn't, 5 maybe.
Yeah, listen, man. I agree with tearing it down to the studs. You've got a young offensive line that you can build around, right? So there's step one. You just paid. Tyler Booker got hurt. Cooper Beebe's hurt. CeeDee Lamb's hurt on your offense.
Yeah.
Right. You've got a revolving door at right tackle. You've got a left tackle that at this point he's played okay. He's not a first round tackle, right?
Yeah.
We just paid Tyler. God, what is
Tyler
the
Smith.
other?
Smith.
Thank you, Tyler Smith.
Yeah.
Too many Tylers on the team.
There's a lot.
We just paid Tyler Smith. You've got him. You've got Guyton if that's the direction you want to go. You've got Beebe, and then you've got Tyler Booker, right? And then you trade and get what you can for Sam Williams. You trade if you can sell him and throw in maybe a washing machine, get rid of Trayvon Diggs, eat half the contract.
You're going to have to do something because he's right now his value is not.
I wish we would have traded him a season ago.
Yes.
Like when they were talking about it, I was like, hell no, you can't do that now. I'm like, God, I wish we'd have done that. Now, I will say, after the game, and I used to sit there with my tears, right? I don't do that anymore. I just look at it and I go, I'm just in disbelief. And I don't know how I'm in disbelief because I'm used to it, right?
Yeah,
but
you've been conditioned. The majority of your life has been futility.
It's suck. Yeah,
futility. So those of us that are a little bit older, we got to see some good times.
The last time the Cowboys were really good and I could be proud of them openly was when the starter jackets were popular and I had one.
Oh my God.
So
that was a long time ago.
Right? And I also had a Stars one, But anyways, that was the last time that Dallas was relevant, was when the Dallas Stars were, winning the Stanley Cup. So it was actually before that. But anyways, I was pissed off at Matt Eberflus, right?
But you can't hold all this.
Hang on. So I was pissed off at Matt Eberflus, and I'm like, Jesus, you can't scheme something up. You can't do this. You can't do that. And then you think about it, right? The long touchdown pass, or the 30-yard touchdown pass to Rome Odunze.
Yeah.
Diggs tries to jam him, and he slips, and he just runs right past him. It's like, oh, there you go. Bye. See you later. Yeah. Right. And you talk about the injuries that we've had, Yeah. And then on top of that, what did the Jones family do before the season started?
They traded your best pass rusher.
They traded your best defensive player on the team, and it wasn't even close.
Oh yeah, no,
was not even close. No. Like Diggs is a shell of himself.
Yeah,
right. I don't know what's going on with Maris Leofau. Like I don't know if there's issue picking up Eberflus's system. If Eberflus doesn't like him, he's got to be better than this Ryan Sanborn kid. Like
Jack Sanborn,
Sanborn, whatever his name is. He's god awful, right? Yeah. Get rid of him. Like send his ass to the practice. Trade him to the Eagles, right? I don't care what you do. Just get him out off my football team. Sam Williams is terrible.
Yeah,
right. He can't do shit.
Yeah,
Ezraku is a rookie. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's really raw.
You got to have more from Marshawn Nealon right now. He's not giving.
Marshawn Nealon isn't doing anything. The best pass rusher you got was a guy that was on the bubble to make the roster, and that's James Houston. What are we talking about?
I'll tell you this. The strength, one of the strongest part of that defense is something that we haven't had in a long time, and that's the middle of that defense. When you've got that little 3 or 4 man rotation with Osa Odigizua, Kenny Clark, who you got in the Micah Parsons trade. Jay Toya and Solomon Thomas. That's a solid group.
I noticed you didn't mention a certain name.
Well, yeah, he doesn't need to be.
Mozzie Smith needs to be cut.
His biggest fan is in Washington. So,
oh my God!
But the fact is, man, you've got some good building blocks, John, with the middle of that defense.
Yeah,
you've got if Overshown comes back and he resembles what he was, he's an outstanding linebacker. Mm-hmm. You've got Deron Bland, and if Ravel can come back and he's as good as we seem to think he is, that's 2 really good corners.
Yeah,
I mean, you got some building blocks in place, man. You really do.
You know who we missed this year that's not on the team anymore?
Who would that be?
Jordan Lewis.
Yeah. J. Lou was a solid player, good team leader.
I mean,
but our best players are kicker now, honestly.
Dear God, that's one position we don't need to get rid of.
They better. I heard tell this, and I want to ask your opinion on this. Mm-hmm. I heard somebody suggest that if he does become a free agent, put a first-round tender on him. Which means that if somebody else signs him, then they got to give you a first-round pick.
Jerry ain't going to let him go.
I know, but do you think anybody would buy? I think there might be some teams that might buy on him.
Today, yes. 10 years ago, no.
Because if they're close, and because he is a weapon, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's a weapon. I don't know if anybody bought on a first-round pick, but
in a game where they play percentages, right? Where they am I going to go for it? What do the analytics say? And they play, 49% say yes, you should go for this, and they go, that's good enough for me.
Yeah,
you get to midfield and you're in field goal range,
literally
guaranteed.
Midfield. That's crazy to think about. This midfield is scoring position.
Like when you're talking about a defense playing prevent before the half or the end of the game, or you can't do that when you've got a weapon like that in a close game because you're like, no, we got to play tight. Which when you've got guys when they're healthy like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, in that defense or in that offense that the defense has to concern themselves about. The frustrating part, Bill, is you see the fingerprint of Matt Eberflus on this. He said, hey, we can get Kenny Clark, and he's the because I remember them talking when they hired Eberflus.
Can't blame him. Eberflus.
When they hired Eberflus, I remember listening to the guys on the fan talk about draft. Yeah. And one guy was like, hey, he needs a big defensive tackle, big run stopping defensive tackle that we can put in there, and they just couldn't address it in the draft for whatever reason.
You got that. You got it now.
It was clear that Mozzie Smith wasn't the answer. I'm pretty sure they knew that right away. They attempted to address it with Jay Toya, who is going to be pretty good, right? Worst case scenario, he's around an Osa Odigizua, in my opinion. He's still young, right? I'm not saying he's going to be Osa, but worst case, he's a rotational piece, which that's all you can ask for a mid-round pick, right? Make the team, be here for a couple years, move on down the road, maybe get a contract extension of some sort. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But the Jones family gambled on the fact that, well, we've got all these defensive ends that we've invested draft capital in, and none of them have hit.
Yeah.
Sam Williams hasn't hit. Nealand hasn't hit. Ezraku hasn't hit. He's just a rookie, right? So at this point, this is why Dallas Cowboy fans are pissed off at Jerry Jones.
Here. Yeah, no, 100%. I got an idea. Let's get off the Cowboys and let's talk about some good football teams.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We're going to hit up the games from last week real quick. That were I don't remember what our record. Can you tell me what our record was last week? You and I.
I think it was you were 8-0 and I was 7-1.
After last week.
Oh, let me go back. Bear with me.
I got you.
Let's see. We've got. I don't have it.
Hey, you know what? We can figure that out.
We can figure that out,
and
we'll figure it out later
next week.
Yeah.
Run across some games real quick last week. Watch the Green Bay Packers, who are in Dallas Sunday night. Which, by the way, we'll be at that game. We'll be at that game this weekend. So it's going to be a bloodbath.
One of you is going to leave happy, and it's not going to be you.
Yeah, she's a huge Packers fan. I clearly am not, but I cannot, and I'm not expressing my Packers hate because I do respect that franchise and the history of that franchise. And the fact is, she's going to be happy, so that means I'm going to be happy.
Yep.
But that Packers team, they lost a really tough one to Cleveland, so that didn't help Dallas because they're going to come in here pissed off. And it's going to be a bloodbath. Yeah. But the other games that I want to talk about, the Lions and the Ravens, that was a very impressive showing by Detroit. They just went into Baltimore, which is not an easy place to play, on Monday night, and just beat the Lions up. Just ran the ball up and down the field on them.
That's Matt Campbell football, Dan Campbell
football. I agree.
Dan Campbell football.
They've looked a lot better since that first week.
That first week looked bad, but this week it feels like they haven't skipped a beat. It's
the Bucks and the Jets. That was a hell of a game. The Bucks trying to kick a field to go up 9. The Jets block it, return it for a touchdown, take the lead. Baker Mayfield, who everybody knows, Heisman Trophy winner, former OU quarterback. John and I, we've been against this kid for years, but we're both to the point where we both like Baker Mayfield now. Yeah. I think we can say that firmly. Yeah. I think he's actually a pretty good dude. He's competitive. Yeah. He's not real big, but he talks a lot of crap and he backs it up.
He does.
But he brought them back down the field. They won that game, against the Jets. Then you've got the Rams dominating Philadelphia for 3/4 of that game, blowing a 26-7 lead, and the thanks to 2 blocked field goals from Jordan Davis.
I think I saw somewhere at halftime, Philadelphia had like 28 yards of offense or something like that. It was something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they were down by 19 and blew that game.
That's 26-7, man. That can't happen. So those were the games I had highlighted this week.
Yeah.
And they were good games.
Yeah.
We'll get into the games now that we've got coming up this week. Obviously, we've talked a little bit about Dallas and Green Bay. You and I both seem to think that's going to be a bloodbath.
Yep.
It's a 7-point spread, which basically being normally the home team gets 3 points. That's basically a 10-point spread, and I think I'd be surprised if it's that close.
Yeah. I would venture to say this is a 35-10 ball game if you're lucky.
It wouldn't surprise me in the least. Philadelphia it's going to be another fun game. Philadelphia is going to play our boy Baker in Tampa. I think we both believe the Cowboys are going to win that game, or the Packers are going to win that game against the Cowboys. That's the pick for that game.
Yep.
And the Phils and the Bucks, we differentiate there. It wouldn't surprise me to see Tampa win, but I'm going to pick Philly, and I think you're going with Tampa.
I'm going with Baker.
You're going to ride with our boy. Okay.
I'm riding with the boy Baker.
Okay, and we've got Indy against the Rams. Indy is undefeated. The Rams are 2-1. Obviously, they should be 3-0 before they choked that game away against Philadelphia. I'm not, and so they're going to go into Indy pissed off.
Yeah, they're going to beat the piss out of
or
Indy.
wherever they're playing. I don't even know where they're playing, but they're going to be pissed off.
Yeah,
and they're going to take that out on the Colts. The Colts now, if the Colts win something here, I'll be impressed and I'll start believing something. But they have beaten 3 subpar teams in my opinion.
That's putting it lightly.
And we'll see Danny Dime, see what he's got here, but we're both picking the Rams in that one.
Yeah. There's
just too much talent there.
Yeah, that they can't overcome that. We've
got Ravens Chiefs. This is a shocking stat here. Both of these teams, one win, John. It's crazy. So you lose. You looking at this game? What is this going to be? We've played 3 games so far.
Yeah.
1-3. The loser of this game is going to be 1-3, and they're going to be fighting an uphill battle to get to the playoffs.
Yep.
It's going to be. I think it would be a little easier for Baltimore if Baltimore loses. I think they still have a way back to possibly winning that division even.
Yeah.
Because the best team in that division besides them is Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh is a bit shaky. You've got 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. You're not sure what you're going to get from them, and they could run off. Cincinnati just lost Joe Burrow.
God.
So your
that division is shaky at best.
But you could see Baltimore could still. I believe Baltimore could still lose this game and still come back and even win the division. Sure. Kansas City, I think Kansas City wins that division. They're going to be fighting to get to the playoffs because they win this game. San Diego's already beat them once.
Yeah.
And San Diego looks like the real deal. Jim Harbaugh's got them going good there. They're playing the Giants this week. I think they're going to probably beat the crap out of the Giants.
Yeah.
Even though the Jackson Dart era has officially begun in New York, I believe rightfully so. Scares me is here in the future. They've got a if Jackson Dart is worth a shit, they've got a nice young core there would be him, Malik Neighbors on the outside. Wan'Dale Robinson he's a solid slot option, dependable guy. And if Cam Scatteraboo, who I don't know will ever be a full-time starter, but if you put another back with him, he would be a nice complementary back. He's going to come in and get you some tough yards and be fiery, and he blocks his ass off. I think he damn near broke a Chiefs defensive end's ribs on a block.
Yeah, one thing I will say about New York, if they could just figure out how to draft offensive linemen, they wouldn't have been as bad as they have been all these years.
Speaking of that, we didn't pick that game. Who do you have? I think we're both going to go Ravens Chiefs in the Ravens Chiefs game. I think we're both going to go Baltimore in that one.
Yeah,
because we don't trust them yet, Kansas City. So we'll see how it goes, bud.
Yep. You guys, we'll see you next week. Thank you, Ensemble. We'll see you guys later.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godly, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Let's be honest, wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's